What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Elliott Delp.
Sparky.
Today we're going to be doing a review on the Acelink Skeletac Plate Carrier. This is a carrier we've had for quite some time now. We actually had, this is our second one. The first one we had was a little bit too big for us. We've had that one for almost over a year now. We got this one, which is a medium that we picked up right after SHOT Show. Disclaimer, we do have a relationship with Acelink. We've been running their actual plates for quite some time. And then we've had this since sometime in February. Here's the review on it. This is the Skeletac Plate Carrier. But before we talk about the carrier, kind of its features, what we like, dislike about it, there's some housekeeping items. First thing, you can check out basementoperator.com. There you can find a link to all kinds of cool stuff, especially the people that support us, but also merch, Sparky's OnlyFans, stickers, all kinds of great stuff can be found over at basementoperator.com. So make sure to go check us out there. We also want you to go check us out on Discord. Link is in the description below. That's the best place to talk to us. It's also a good community down there. We talk about builds. We talk about all kinds of stuff on Discord. So go check it out. Then also go check us out on Instagram. There you can find our photos, some deals, stories.
Some daily life stuff.
Yeah, daily life stuff. Just day-to-day stuff over on Instagram. Link to that is in the description as well. And you know we got to give a big thank you to the people that keep the lights on for us, because without them, this content wouldn't be free for you guys. So big shout out to True Shot. They keep the freedom seeds flowing over here. If you want to go to basementoperator.com/links, they're at the top. Use code DELP. It'll save you a little bit of moolah on a big order over at True Shot. Another group of people that keep the lights on for us is TacPack. TacPack is a monthly subscription service for tactical gear. You can get a $60 bundle or a $140 bundle. And there you get different tiers worth of gear, but they have some awesome stuff like 511, Reptilia, and it comes monthly. So, you know, you sign up.
It's like Christmas.
Yeah, it's like Christmas every month. You get a new box every month of some pretty awesome stuff. We use TacPack gear quite often, actually. We run a knife, hand stops. Every now and again, you'll get mags, stickers, all kinds of cool stuff. So go check out TacPack. Link is at basementoperator.com/links. And then if you use code DELP, you get a free goodie bag on your first order. So big thank you to TacPack. So let's dive right into this plate carrier. So this plate carrier runs pricey. It is a $345 plate carrier. Probably one of the more expensive plate carriers that we've actually got our hands on and tested here on the channel. But this is a lightweight kind of minimalist carrier setup that I think is pretty sweet. And we actually requested this one because it is a little bit different than the typical stuff that we review.
It's very, like, first impression is like, oh, this is different.
Yeah, for sure. And so I want to tell you guys a little bit about it. The start of this plate carrier, and we're gonna ignore the placard for a second. It is a very minimalistic plate carrier. You can see we have a rigid system here on the front. This is 2.4 millimeter Kydex that is used to hold the plate in. So the plate is held in with the Kydex on the front, but then it is Velcroed around back and
to the plate cover.
To the plate cover. There's a bunch of different plate covers, so you can get this set up pretty much any way you want it to look. We chose black with multicam just because I think it looks pretty sweet. So on the front, you have your placard system, and that attaches very commonly. We have this placard. We've also ran some HRT Tacticool placards on it, and it works and works well that way. The kind of front system here is where you have all of your Velcro for the placard to attach to, very common. The mounting system on that is 2 millimeter rock buckles. So they're at all four corners, so you can attach your cummerbund to that as well as your straps.
Which is nice that they're all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's all exactly the same. The inner system is very comfy for it being very minimalist in nature. There is a little bit of padding here. It's not a ton.
Yeah, because initially when you say minimalist, my first thought of is uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be as little as possible and still maintain functionality. So the reason you would buy this is not necessarily to have a big, like, loaded out kit, but something you can store easily. So like
this is something to, like, stick behind the nightstand or leave in the back
of a truck.
Under the seat of your truck kind
of
thing.
That's exactly why you would pick up this type of system. This is not meant for long days at the range, you know,
or necessarily law enforcement. So like, you're gonna wear it all day, every day, kind of.
Yeah, you're not putting you know, tourniquets and a ton of different stuff on the cummerbund and on the system.
This is mainly meant to be functional over comfort.
Yeah, but with that being said, it doesn't mean it can't be comfortable, but it's the priority is not comfort, as in a lot of carriers. So easy to swap out the plates. They just unvelcro down and bam. These are Acelink plates. Like we had previously mentioned, we run Acelink very often, and we kind of prefer them for their plates as they make some high quality stuff. Speaking of being made, this stuff is made in Poland, so it is a European manufacturer. Take that for what you will. We've actually spoke with them. They're pretty awesome guys over there. They're on top of it, and you get what is a 2-year warranty on the plate system. So you have a warranty there in case anything happens to it. So let's talk placards. The placard that we have. Before we
get to the placard, this is meant to be used for the 10x12s or 11x14s. So you can go either way with it. You could if you want to run a larger plate, you could, or you can run a smaller plate. So you got that option before you get away from that.
Another thing to be said is pay very close attention to the sizing, because it is very important when it comes to cummerbund size and shoulder strap size. Like I had mentioned, the first one we got was a large. It was way too big for me. I am 5'10", 175 pounds, and it just engulfed me. It sat way too low on my chest. It was not comfortable. It didn't ride how it was supposed to. We got a medium, and it fixed a lot of those problems. So make sure when you're picking this up and sizing it correctly, that you do as you are supposed to and size it correctly. Back to the cummerbund. This is one of Acelink's cummerbunds. This is the hybrid rifle pouch. So as you can see here, we have a single mag, we have a double mag, and then we also have a 308 mag. If you remember, we ran this in some of the Jackal content as well as the Saber content. The mags are really nice, or not the mags, but the cummerbund's really nice in terms of how it's held up over the last 2 months. Now, long-term durability, Sparky brought up a very good point, like how's this elastic holding up over months and months and months of use? We cannot attest to that yet. But we do like the system, so we hopefully will be using it more and more.
Because it's like most that are, the retention for the magazine is elastic.
Yeah.
So it's going to be one of the things where with all of them, if you left double mags in them loaded for a long period of time,
it'll eventually wear the elastic.
Yeah, it'll stretch that out, and then you put one in, it may or may not fall out easier. So, but it's just something to consider.
So we cannot attest to that as all.
And that's an easy fix. You could easily just, you got space on these tabs to run some 550 cord through, and have some sort of bungee to hold them closed.
Right.
So you easy.
There's workarounds.
Work around.
Yeah. But anyway, really nice little setup. If you want to get away from the minimalist, this has MOLLE on the front of it as well as Velcro. So if you wanted to do that and then MOLLE some stuff on the front, that's very doable. Not probably what you're going to be doing with this, because you'll be using it more of a minimalist setup.
But you have the option.
But the option is there if you want to. And you can also get these for other types of placard systems.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
This will run on like our HRT stuff and other things like that. So keep that in mind.
Biggest thing is it's minimalist, but it has a ton of options if you wanted to build off of it.
Yeah, exactly. Some other notable things about the front system are it has cord management, which I find very useful on all of my plate carrier setups. And for a high-end carrier, that's definitely something that you should look for is, cable management, because nothing more annoying than not being able to route cords or stuff and not being able to have an effective way to do it. So there are a little bit of webbing here on the shoulder pads. The shoulder pads have very little padding in them, hence going back to the minimalist, but they do have a little bit of padding here on the bottom. Here, I'll flip this around. They do have a little bit of padding here on the bottom, and when you're wearing it for hours and hours and it's going to dig, and that's just...
Comes with territory.
It comes with the territory. Back to the skeletonized system. On the back panel, as you can see here, it's very similar to the front system. You have a little bit of Velcro here in case you need to put anything like an identifier or something like that. You can place it right here.
Or just adjust your cummerbund.
Yeah, but the back...
The Velcro backing is nice.
It allows for that. The cummerbund, it has an elastic portion to stretch with you as you sit in vehicles or get in and out of vehicles. However you're using it, there is flex in the cummerbund.
If you want to eat a large lunch while wearing it, you're good to go.
Yeah, if you're eating like 3 ham sandwiches, that's very usable and doable. There is MOLLE on the cummerbund system, so there is a little piece where you can lift up, slide your MOLLE down through, and use it that way. We did not choose to do that, as you can see here, but it is an option.
I really like that because I, for one, not a big cummerbund person. I like the more minimal around here. So I like that you have that option to, you know, if you wanted to add one or two things, you could, because it's nicer than just a solid strap that you have no option to.
Yeah,
that you now have to slide on a whole big piece. Now you have this, it's very minimal, but you have the option. You want to add one or two little things, you could.
Boop. See, you can put some glasses, I don't know. Anyway, so the option is there, and you do have a very minimalist cummerbund, which, you know, while you're buying this, is for a minimalist setup. So when it comes down to it, this thing can shrink up and get super small. Like, very compact and very usable, easy to store. I mean, look at that.
Easily slide it in a backpack and leave it in your truck.
Yeah, but with all that being said, it is very well made and very high quality setup, and is one of the reasons it probably costs as much as it does, because the buckles are really well made, and
this kydex on here.
Yeah,
the skeletonized look.
Yeah. Now, Sparky had mentioned something at the very beginning. With the skeletonized system, it does lead itself to getting snagged on things more. That's comes with the territory. So when you're considering buying this, is that something that will plague you? To me personally, it hasn't affected me that much, but it's just how it goes with everything. Like if you're building out a bigger carrier and you have stuff that's hanging off the sides, you're going to get it caught on stuff as well. It's kind of like, you know, just it is what it is.
Yeah, my initial thought was like a charging handle. Like you're going to like if you're sliding this in and out of your vehicle, you got a lot of spots for something to catch, you know, on your seat cover or whatever. Or like if you're running a rifle, your charging handle can catch on this stuff. But you could
make that argument with a lot of things.
Like it's kind of comes as a territory, but it's, to me, just looking at it looks like, okay, this gives me more options to do that. But the nice thing about this is you have a great platform if you wanted to build off of it. If you wanted to get away from the minimalist side of it and put a little bit bigger straps on it, but then you have all these options for attaching, because most of your, you know, attachments are moly. So you got a plethora of options for however you want to set it up.
And you could definitely run stuff in there as you need.
Yeah.
Because it is a very durable and heavy system. That 2.4 millimeter kydex does a very good job at holding up. And like the placard system is connected into that kydex. So it's meant to take the beating. So guys, I think that's about all we have for you. In conclusion, this is a good little setup if you're looking for something for a quick deployment, easily concealable plate carrier setup, where you're just putting it underneath a truck bed, or maybe you're looking for something to train in at the range. I mean, it's a very usable plate carrier.
It's so customizable.
For training. Now, is it like a big heavy duty plate carrier? No, I don't think that's the intent of it. It's not meant to be completely loaded down to the teeth, but the options are there and how you want to set it up, especially with it being a placard system.
Yeah, and that's not saying it's the quality of it. It's just the fact that that's not the function it's meant to perform.
Yeah, at least in our opinion.
Yeah.
So big thank you to Acelink for sending this out. Go comment down below what you think of this, whether or not it's something you would like, and how you would use it. We'd love to hear your opinions on it, and we really appreciate all the support you guys give. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and go check us out on Instagram. And as always, take Swim Outdoors. Peace.
Bye, Mom.
Sparky, you know what time it is.